we have to create a tone where people feel welcome. We've got to stop refighting the old battles and open up the doors and be ready for criticism. And that's part of the way we build common ground. We've got to listen. You know, here's the fact. Ben was talking about a lot of myths, and there are a lot of them out there. And one of the myths is that we don't have a lot of common ground with black voters or disenchanted voters. And that's just not true. The common ground is there. We've just got to take the time to find it and to listen. And I'm going to tell you a story. Over Thanksgiving, we were down in Sykeston, and I had a long talk with three gentlemen in our family, all about my age, mid to late 40s, black men, politically interested, bright. And I want to tell you what I learned over the course of about a 3-hour conversation. 2 of them voted for Obama, 1 voted for McCain. One's a 20-year union man, one's a small businessman, one's a minister. But the fact that 2 out of 3 voted for Obama doesn't tell the whole story. Because when I listened and we probed a little deeper, here's what I found. 2 of the 3 opposed the stimulus. But the small businessman was wrestling with it because he said, I'm against it on principle, but if the money's out there, should I take it for my business? All of them opposed affirmative action, but for interesting reasons. When I asked the union guy, and I pressed him a little bit, he said to me, I don't see how it's fair to a poor white guy who's never done me any harm. When the small businessman was reluctant to commit, the minister asked him this question: do you want the government telling you who you should hire, or do you want to decide? And he said, I want to decide. Are you seeing a pattern of principles here that we can tap into? Let me offer you a couple of others. All of them thought that it was morally indefensible for anyone to vote for or against someone because of their skin color. So when you're thinking about common ground, here's the lesson I learned from that conversation: that all 3 of them are persuadable to us. That the union guy, although he voted for Obama, has an open mind and is basically a physical conservative and a libertarian at heart. The small businessman, although he's frequently voted Democrat, says he will vote for anybody that will seriously reform our court system. And the minister, well, I think he may be more conservative than I am. We ought to be able to not only recruit him, but mobilize him. But again, just looking at appearances. 3 gentlemen from a poor town, black men of a certain age, the media would have you believe there's no common ground there. But it's there, and we can reach it if we try. Now, what are the lessons out of this kind of conversation? 1, we have to listen. Really listen. Not wait for our chance to talk, but listen. What people are saying and why they're saying it. Second thing we have to do is be patient. It takes time, and we've got to invest the time. We can't do this wholesale. We have to do it retail. We have to meet people as individuals. We can't just come up with talking points or slogans. That's what the other side does. We look at people as individuals, not groups. That's how we will prevail. And we've got to be willing to hear some things we may not want to hear. Because over the course of that time, I heard a lot of things that I disagreed with, or that I wasn't sure about, or things that I thought might not have been quite fair to my party. Most of the time, I figured it wasn't worth refighting those old battles, because we're trying to get somewhere else now. We're trying to move forward, not backward. And finally, we have got to be willing as Republicans to say, if we can just agree on a few big issues, we're okay with the small issues or the side issues, people just going elsewhere or just setting them aside for a while. And if we can do that, then I think we can reclaim the American dream. And what I mean by that is this: we can become the party again of the American dream. Think about this. To my knowledge, there's never been another political party formed in the history of mankind that was set up by its founders to secure the rights of other people, not them. The white men who founded the Republican Party all already had freedom, equality, and opportunity. They set it up to ensure that other people got it. That's a noble tradition.